All right, let's call this episode 0. So if you're seeing this, it means that I both left this part in and wasn't embarrassed of the final product, wasn't too embarrassed of the final product not to share it with my friends. Um, we'll see how that goes. So, welcome to episode 0 of Washing Dishes. I think that's what I'm going to call it. I don't know yet. I'm going to make a recipe that I am very familiar with, that is pretty basic, pretty easy, and that growing up in Southern California, if you haven't had it, I don't know how that happened. It's not very many ingredients. We're going to make pico de gallo. Tomatoes, onion, chilies, cilantro, lime, garlic, salt and pepper. All you need. So let's do it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is cut up the onion. Standard chef's knife. So, round things are hard to cut. They're dangerous. They slide around. Split it in half. We need to dice this onion. And the easiest way to dice something, well, specifically, the easiest way to dice an onion, nip off the tips. I promise there's a trash can over there. Peel them. And then, anytime we're dicing something, we have to make boards into sticks into cubes. Onions are easy. Mother Nature already did the boards part. So we're going to do the sticks. We're going to come down on the side, leaving just a little bit intact along the edge. And we're trying to space our cuts about 1/4 of an inch apart. But it's not super important. If you make bigger cuts, you'll have chunkier salsa. And I'll just take another one. And then come across, and we've got our cubes. And then this part, I don't need it. Those go into our bowl, and we keep going. All right, next up, tomatoes. First thing we want to do is take out this little stem part. I'm going to use a paring knife for that. And I'm going to come in at an angle, push in, and then pull out, and then turn it just a little and push in again. And I'm going in at just a little bit of an angle, and that's going to make it nice and easy to get that stem out. No problemo. Set that aside. And now again, it's round, and we don't want it to be round. So we'll cut it in half. And then we'll go slices through. And that gives us our boards, or planks. And then you can do these one at a time and cut them into the sticks. Like this, if you want. But I'm going to be a little fancy, stack them all up, and then just come down through them all at once. There we go. And then now that they're sticks, we can turn them into cubes by running our knife through them the other way. The fancy French term for this cut is macédoine. It just means a small dice. This goes in the trash. These go into our bowl. I'm not going to make you sit and cut up the rest of those, so when I'm back with you, there'll be more tomatoes in here, and I'll be chopping something else. So next up, chilies. I'm going to use a jalapeno. I'm actually going to use 2 jalapenos for this amount of tomatoes and onions. I've got serranos. I'll show you a way that I'm going to use those later. They're a little spicier, and I'm going to keep this a little mild. But anytime I work with chilies, if I think about it beforehand, I always throw on some gloves, just so it doesn't hurt when I, rub my nose or touch my eye or something. So the chilies, we're just going to split in half down the middle. And then I'm going to take out most of these ribs and seeds. And to do that, I'm going to use a spoon. In fact, I'm going to use the back of a spoon. I'm going to come in along here and just break the rib and slide it along. And it doesn't get all of it, but I'm not looking to get all of it. Just, you know, the big chunks that aren't going to taste good and have good texture. And we'll do it again along this one. If you really want to get all of the spice out of your jalapenos, you can leave it in. But if I'm using jalapenos, I'm using them for flavor and not for spice. Take off these stems. And like, there's some stray seeds, but it's not the end of the world. And then I'm just going to press these to get them a little flatter and easier to cut. And then just run my knife through them. One nice thing about video instead of in person is you don't have to sit and watch me cut this stuff in real time. Alright, I've almost definitely sped that up after the fact. So we're just going to go the other way. I'm sure this is going to be sped up also. Hopefully I remembered to stop the speed up to tell you that you want to cut these about as small as possible. Not like super fine, but like pretty close to as small as you can get them. Off go the gloves. Alright, next up is cilantro. One of the things I love about cilantro is that the stems and the leaves taste exactly the same. And the stems are just a little crunchier, so no biggie, leave them in. Anyway, I like to just bundle it up kind of as tight as I can. And then I'm going to take my knife and, again, kind of like with the chili, we're going to go just as small as we can get it. And then I used the cheap pre-minced garlic from Costco. You could mince up a clove, but felt kind of lazy and forgot to buy it. So that goes in. One lime. Roll it. Juice it. Give it a stir and taste it. I did a bunch more chopping, off camera of course. Finished up our traditional Pico de Gallo. Also made another one with some pineapple and one of those serranos. A little sweeter, a little spicier. And then the same with some mango. Again, a little sweeter, a little spicier. Got these all seasoned up really nice. And, well, I need to go get some tacos. Because, reason.